Have you ever noticed that sometimes it is just so hard to find the time to make sure that we look after ourselves? Okay, but imagine how much better we would be feeling inside about ourselves if we took more time for ourselves. Imagine how our relationships would be if we felt happier about how we felt about ourselves. Imagine how our parenting would change if we took the time to do the passions that we want to do. Even just for 5 minutes a day. Imagine how much calmer we'd be, how much freer we'd be, and imagine how we would not have that regret, that begrudgement, that worry about, oh, I never do anything for myself. It's annoying, isn't it? Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Belinda, and I'm very passionate about helping people recover from autoimmune problems, thyroid issues, sleeping issues, energy issues, hormonal imbalances, anxiety, depression, weight, you name it, and so much more. And this is kind of a video, a bit different to the ones I normally do, I'll admit, because yes, I work on nutrition, I work on food that can help bodies heal, I work on helping people recover, helping people find the root cause to their symptoms. But it's really, really important to find that root cause, but then also to help with nutrition, but to help with our mental health as well. Okay, and this is kind of like a video that's a bit different because I'm going to give you 5 things that help me keep sane here. And if I don't keep sane here, I cannot help you. I cannot help my kids. I cannot help my clients. I cannot help my husband. I cannot help myself. Okay, and this is kind of a little video because let's face it, I've been falling off the wagon lately, and we all do it. Okay, we all, slip. And then we forget to start looking after ourselves. And yes, it's been school holidays, and yes, it's been Easter, and it's just been crazy. But I honestly haven't had time, or rephrase that, I don't like to say those words. I have been being busy and skipping some of the things that I would normally do, okay? Because our mental health is really, really important, because we can't help anyone if we're drowning, okay? So we've got to put our life vest on first. We cannot help anyone else put their life vest on unless we look after ourselves first, okay? And that means being kind to ourselves, okay? Saying nice things to ourselves, and stopping ourselves mid-sentence like I did just there when we have things going on and we start saying these, it's important to reframe things so that they're not in a negative light, and so that we can change them around, so that we can look after ourselves first before we can help anyone else. Oh, hi Emma, how are you? Just say hello when you pop on live, okay? Because I've got 2 viewers right now. And if you catch this on the replay, then say replay down below. So my point to this video is, yes, nutrition and supplements and health is really, really important, but we also need to look after our mental health. They're actually connected, okay? So we actually need to do both. And I'm going to give you 5 things that I do to help myself mentally that I've kind of been slipping on lately. And so this is kind of like a coaching video for myself as well, to pull my finger out and start doing some of these things again. Okay, so you may have seen a couple of videos that I have done. So the first one that I like to do is EFT, or tapping. Okay, now this works off the meridians of the body. I do this with clients, I do this with myself, I do this with kids. If people are stressed and they send me a message, I'll say, hey, do you want to jump on and let's do an EFT session? Okay, because when you do it, it actually feels a lot better at the end, and you've voiced all these negative emotions, and then you've brought in the positive, and then you can start feeling the energy flow in the body, so that we're not feeling, it basically kicks you out of fight or flight, okay? And it can happen as quick as 5 minutes, okay? And it's really quick and easy to do. So, that's something I do, number one. So I do that with kids when they are stressed, when they are worried, when they are anxious. I do it with myself for all these reasons as well. If they're unhappy, if they've hurt themselves, if they have a headache, if they are grumpy, to prepare themselves for a positive day as well. So we do it in the morning, especially with my homeschooling kids, okay, to set them up for a good day. So that's step number one. I quite often do this on the way to school while I'm driving, because, after that morning rush when you're trying to get everyone ready and you get them in the car and you get the lunchboxes ready and it's just, oh my gosh, we're going to be late again. So I'm like, even though I'm so stressed and frustrated, so I'll do it in the car to help my nervous system calm down so that I can function for the rest of the day without being stressed out and frustrated, okay? So that's number one. That's one thing that I do, okay? Number two is affirmations in the mirror. Now, these are very powerful for our self-esteem, for our mental health, okay? Because we're retraining ourselves. Because when we were a little kid, okay, and we were at home with our parents and maybe we were being scolded or being yelled at or getting in trouble, okay, or when someone was telling us something negative, quite often they're looking at you in the eye, okay, and you're taking on these beliefs, that negativity. This is setting you up for life, and particularly before the age of 10. So, when you're being yelled at and you're being frustrated, and quite often when you are an adult and you start, that negative talk, oh, I'm so stupid, why do I do that? Why can't I be smart like so-and-so? All this negative talk that we say to ourselves, quite often it's something that someone else has said to us when we were younger, okay? And you'll quite often find that when we're berating ourselves, we're doing it from the perspective of when we were a child and from the view that someone else has done that to us, okay? So that's why when we do affirmations, it's really good if you can do them in front of the mirror and look yourself in the eye. I'll admit that it is really, really weird to begin with. It's like, why am I doing this? I feel like an idiot. But if you've ever done any of my programs, I haven't done it in all of the programs. I know it's in the 6-week one, and I think it may be in the 21-day Bulletproof Your Immune System one. I can't remember. But that is one thing that we actually do. It's definitely in the 6-week one. And the affirmations that I ask the ladies to write on the mirror to say to themselves every time they see it is, I love you, I forgive you, I accept who you are. Okay. But that can be really, really confronting and awkward. So I've had a lot of people say, well, I can't say that to myself. Okay. And it's really, really uncomfortable. So if you want to do this, start with something really simple, like, I approve of myself. Okay, if you find standing in front of the mirror, telling yourself that you love you, weird and uncomfortable, then just start with something like, I approve of myself. And that's it. And then keep saying that to yourself every single time you see that in the mirror. Okay, so I change mine all of the time. I am powerful, I am amazing, I am helping people, I am whatever that is, I love and accept who I am. Whatever resonates for yourself is really important. Like, don't use my words. Use something that's really personalized to you. But that's one that I have used with clients before is I accept who I am, from where I am right now. Because sometimes when we're feeling down, we're always, saying this negative talk to ourselves, which is really not nice. I had one client who was saying to herself every time she saw her in the mirror, she was looking herself in the eye saying, why are you such a fat, ugly old cow? And what happened was that she'd put on weight. So she was literally telling herself to put on weight. So, your body responds to the instructions that you give it. So be very careful with the words that you say to yourself. Okay, so affirmations in the mirror, that's number 2. I don't want to make this video too long. Okay, number 3 is listen to something positive. Okay, so I use audiobooks a lot, but you could use YouTube, you could get on a podcast. okay? So listen to something positive and inspiring that's going to uplift you and keep you in a positive mood, and so that you can learn something new, okay? To help you with health, with life, with parenting, you know, money, whatever, business, whatever floats your boat. Like, it doesn't really matter, okay? But something that's going to inspire you and lift you up, okay? So I can list off multiple books. If anyone wants a list of books, I'm happy to do that. Some of them are free on YouTube. Like, you know, you just see if they're free on YouTube, type in such and such audiobook and have a look and see if it's free there. But that's something that I do daily, and I pretty much do that in the car. I do it while I'm hanging the washing. I do it while I'm cooking tea, okay? Because I find it hard to find the time to sit down and actually read a physical book, okay? So I actually listen to a lot of audiobooks. But yeah, that's number 3. Number 4 is meditation. Now, this is something that I've really only stepped into recently, okay? And I probably have been doing this on a different level, but I never really called it meditation, okay? So, you know, it doesn't really matter what you call it, but it's just sitting quietly. Now, you can do a guided one. I've done them on YouTube. I've done them on certain apps that have meditations, because, you know, sometimes when we're first learning to do it, it can be really hard to, you know, what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to do this? You know, we always, you know, want to do things correctly, okay? But this is, you know, connecting with our higher self, and it really is calming to the nervous system, and so that you can have some focus in your life and just work out who you are, learn who you are. This is a great way to learn how you really think and what you really feel about yourself, about your world, about your parenting, about your life in general, about your goals, about what you want to achieve, about how you feel about your health. Like, I did a lot of, when I was very unwell, I did a lot of, I don't know what they're called. Yeah, sleep meditations, okay? Positive ones that are supposed to help with healing as well. So you can do it that way as well. Like, I used to do that every night. I'd put on a healing meditation to sleep with, and it goes for like 3 or 4 hours and then turns off. Okay, you can find certain apps to do that. People do this for manifestation and building better relationships. You can do it for whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But that was something that I started with, was the sleep meditations. Okay, but now I do it during the day. You know, I was doing it daily, and I am going to do it daily again. Okay, number 5, and this is an interesting one. I was reading a book about the art of silence. Now, what was it called? Oh, I can't remember. No, it's not coming to me right now. But anyway, it was just about the power of sitting quietly and taking 5 minutes to just sit and breathe and not think. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen at this time of afternoon when you're supposed to be bathing kids and cooking tea, right? But this is something that I do during and after meditation now, okay? But I would never have really done it beforehand. You know, you've got to fill every gap in the day, right? You've got to be go. You've got so much to do. You've got to do the washing and the cleaning and the schooling of the kids, and you've got to work with clients, and you've got to go to a job, or you've got to drop the kids off at school, and then you've got to go to soccer after school, and then there's basketball, and then there's netball, and then there's hockey, and then there's swimming lessons, and there's just so much going on. And then you sit there scrolling on your phone instead of turning it off, putting it on silent completely, and just taking 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. If you have to set a timer, set a timer. Just 5 minutes of peace and quiet. I find that I actually do this, and I do it quite regularly, but I didn't really realize I do it, is I will sit in the car. I don't know if anyone else does this. Maybe I'm a weirdo. You can let me know if you do this too. Is when I get home from somewhere, or when I'm getting to the shop, or I'm going to the market or whatever, or I'm going to the ATM to get money out, I'll literally just sit in the car and I'll sit there thinking for literally 5 or 10 minutes before I get out of the car. And sometimes I'll do it when I get home with the kids, and I get frustrated when they don't get out of the car and leave me alone. Like, I realized that not so long ago. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I actually do this 5 minutes of silence. I just do it this way. So, you know, whatever floats your boat. But they're the 5 things that I like to do to keep a level head, okay, to keep my cool, to look after my mental health, okay, to help my central nervous system calm down so that it can actually function to the full ability, so that I can be well, so I can have the energy to do what I need to do. Okay, and this is just one thing that we need to do. Like, there are so many different things that we need to do, and if you are curious about the things that we should be doing on a daily basis, then you should join my next 6-week program. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. If you have any comments or questions, then feel free to put them down below. And if you know someone that this video can help, maybe they need to hear this message, then feel free to tag people or send this to friends. Anyway, you have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow.